Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. According to the Manchester Evening News, Man United are making progress on Pau Torres transfer. Man United are working on a deal for Pau Torres. Pau Torres has a release clause of €60 million. He's under contract with Villarreal until 2024. He's been at Villarreal for a long time. He came up their academy. He's 24 years of age and he is a centre-half. A deal for Pau Torres is unlikely to be finalised until after the Euros. Man United have been in for Pau Torres before. Do you think Pau Torres would complement Harry Maguire in our back line? We definitely need a centre-half. Now I want to give you some news on Jadon Sancho. So Man United's second bid for Jadon Sancho is still being considered by Borussia Dortmund. Now Man United have been told to pay a take it or leave it asking price of 77 million plus add-ons. Now Sky Sports recently said that we improved our bid for Sancho. It was £75 million plus add-ons. Man United have agreed the personal terms with Sancho. The agent fees have been agreed and a contract has been agreed. We just need to come to an agreement now on an actual fee. Borussia Dortmund have given Man United a new deadline to meet their asking price for Sancho. Borussia Dortmund want a decision made on Sancho's future for the first half of July. Man United are confident of completing the signing of Jadon Sancho. Fabrizio Romano did say not so long ago that all parties involved in Man United's pursuit of Sancho are confident a deal will be agreed. At one point we was round 11 million short of Jadon Sancho's valuation. Borussia Dortmund said last Monday they believed that Sancho to Man United could have been done at the end of the week. Solskjaer's made it clear that he wants to make 4 more signings when Sancho to Man United is official. Earlier on this year, Borussia Dortmund told Jadon Sancho that he can leave the club, and then obviously Solskjaer made him a transfer priority. Dortmund have lowered their asking price from last summer, because obviously last summer Dortmund were demanding £108 million. Dortmund's asking price last summer was the stumbling block. You know, we was reluctant to meet their 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. But last summer, Sancho to Man United was extremely close because the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and the contract and that had been agreed. And Dortmund set a deadline last year. They said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho did remain at Dortmund. But there's always been something in Sancho to Manchester United because it's been stemming from reliable journalists. Fabrizio Romano has spoken a lot about the Sancho saga. He's a very reliable Italian journalist and close to Man United. And Christian Fark from Bild has spoken a lot about it. We've been in for Sancho now for the last 2 years or so, so it has been a long-running transfer saga. But Sancho will be a great signing for Manchester United. Sancho has been at Borussia Dortmund for 4 years, hasn't he? Dortmund paid around £7 million in from Man City back in 2017, and he's under contract with Dortmund until 2023. It actually says if we fail to sign Sancho, we'll look to make a move for Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich as an alternative. Now, like I said to you earlier on, Manchester United are in a strong transfer position. To deliver the transfers that Solskjaer wants. Now, Solskjaer's already decided on his transfer targets. He wants to strengthen up in 4 positions. We want a striker, we want a right winger, we want a defensive midfielder, and we also want a centre-half. Solskjaer said not so long ago that he wants Man United to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. And I'm convinced we can challenge for the title next season, providing that we recruit well in this summer transfer window. Obviously, next season is massive for Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm expecting Solskjaer to be sacked at some point next season because, like I've mentioned before, he isn't the long-term manager for Manchester United, and I think quite a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. I'd say next season Solskjaer's got to win a trophy at Man United if he is to remain Manchester United manager. If things start to go wrong next season, then I think, the pressure will be on him. But if we do decide to eventually sack Solskjaer, who's going to come in to replace him? We need someone in with a proven pedigree and someone who would suit the strappings of the club. We are going to offload players in this summer transfer window, so in that aspect we'll generate money and it'll help us with our rebuilding process. Now, just before the summer transfer window opened, it said Solskjaer had been given a 150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players, and our board said they'll back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings despite the Europa League final loss. Joe Glazer attended a fans forum on the 4th of June, don't forget, and he's promised Manchester United supporters that Solskjaer will get the funds that are available. So he's giving him financial backing. Obviously, a lot of United fans were protesting against the Glazers towards the end of last season, because the Glazers have been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. The Glazers have been at Manchester United for 16 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. We recently had our financial results. Our debt's risen up to like 443.5 million. Our debt continues to rise. But this summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window now as permanent Man United manager. There is very good players at Manchester United, and these players that have really, really improved. Edinson Cavani, he's made a fantastic impact since he's come in. I'm glad Cavani's staying for next season. Romano said towards the end of last season that Cavani signed a 1-year contract. Mason Greenwood, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Despite him going a long period without scoring, Mason Greenwood signed a 4-year contract last season. He deserved the contract, reflecting on his good performances. Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019 and he's been a United player since the age of 7. So he's been part of the club for a long time. Sometimes we play Greenwood on the right and sometimes we play him up top. Marcus Rashford, he's also good when he wants to be. But he's endured bad periods as well. I thought Rashford was poor towards the end of last season. And Rashford's become injury prone at Man United because he has now sustained quite a few injuries. We need to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left-hand side because that's where he's more effective. I don't like him on the right wing and we've played him there a few times and I'm not keen on him playing centrally, Rashford, but he has produced some good performances when he's played centrally. You know, Rashford's been a United player since the age of 7. He's been in our senior squad since 2016. Bruno Fernandes, obviously, he's very, very good as well. He's our best player and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. In a lot of Bruno Fernandes' games, he's been very, very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. Let's be honest though, we've overplayed Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes has been at Manchester United for like 17, 18 months now. Won Player of the Year not so long ago. And he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Towards the end of last season, it said that Fernandes is set to sign a new contract worth 200 grand a week. So he said he was willing to double his wages. Because Fernandes admitted he's been happy with the progress of Solskjaer's team. Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There is an option of a further 12 months. We got Fernandes in a deal worth just over £67 million from Sporting Lisbon. Donny van der Beek, he is a good player, but we don't use him enough. So this is why we need to offload him in this summer transfer window. Donny van der Beek has made 36 appearances for Man United in all competitions. Most of them appearances have come from the bench. I recall Van der Beek starting 4 games in the league last season. You know, we got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million from Ajax last year and he's under contract with Man United until 2025 and he can play in 3 different roles. So, reflecting on that, he's versatile. Now, Van der Beek recently said that he wants to make a move to Barcelona. to end his Man United misery. Arsenal not so long ago made contact with us over the future of Van der Beek because Arsenal are in search for a central midfielder, and Man United and Arsenal have done business before. Not so long ago it said that Van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future, and he got ruled out of the Euros through injury. We want 25 million for Donny van der Beek because Solskjaer set the exit price. Paul Pogba, he's improved in recent months. You know, he does bring creativity to the team. In quite a few games last season, we played Paul Pogba in an advanced role. He's much better in an advanced role than he is in a deeper role. At one point last season, Pogba was out with a thigh injury for a while, and he sustained a couple of ankle injuries with us. Now, Pogba did recently say that he has more freedom with France than at Manchester United. And he set a goal target for next season. But like I say, I hope Pogba stays for next season. I give you an update on Paul Pogba earlier on today. Reports have been coming out saying that Man United are set to make Paul Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a 5-year contract worth 104 million. We fear losing Paul Pogba on a free transfer. We actually fear that he's running down his contract to leave on a free. Pogba's current contract expires next year because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. And Solskjaer has obviously come out and said that he hopes Pogba stays and signs a new contract. Not so long ago, Pogba insisted that he wasn't in contract negotiations with Man United, but just before that, Sky Sports News said Man United opened talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him, and he's endured 5 seasons at Manchester United since he rejoined. And he's had a long-running transfer saga. Now he's been linked with a move to PSG recently. You know, PSG have stepped up their interest. PSG wants to partner Pogba with Wijnaldum. Pogba's agent Mino Raiola's held talks with the PSG president. And Kim Pembe came out and says that Pogba would be welcome to PSG. Pogba's also been linked to Real Madrid. He's been linked to a return to Juventus. He did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. There has been talks of a Paul Pogba and Cristiano Ronaldo swap deal. I think a lot of United fans would take Ronaldo back. He's been linked to Barcelona before, and he's also been linked to Inter Milan before. Pogba is actually refusing to rule out an exit from Man United, but I think he'd be happy to stay with us as long as we match his ambitions. Obviously, Mino Raiola has been desperate to get his client out of the football club. Scott McTominay, he's a decent player as well, but he's not yet on that level where we want him to be at. The question is, can he emulate that level? He certainly needs more time at the club, does McTominay. You know, he's been at the club for a while as it stands. Just after the first lockdown last year, he signed a 5-year deal. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Luke Shaw, he's also improved. You know, Luke Shaw was our best player last season. You know, Luke Shaw got in some very good positions. He showed good attacking intent, created good chances for his teammates, provided width, and defensively was superb. Towards the end of last season, though, looked off the pace for like 3 games in a row. Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Torres last year. And you can say Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. He's been at Man United now for 7 years, Luke Shaw. Eric Bailly, he's also a good centre-half as well, but he's just too injury-prone, so in that aspect, he is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract on Man United until 2024. There's also an option of a further year. Bailly's been with us now for like 5 years. We got him for £30 million from Villarreal back in 2016. Harry Maguire, he's good when he wants to be. He's had his good games at Man United, he's had his bad games. He was a big miss towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. He sustained that injury in our 3-1 win against Villa towards the end of last season. I think he's just recently come back from injury as well. Again, we overpaid for Harry Maguire. We got him in a deal worth 80 million from Leicester. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club behind Paul Pogba. And Wan-Bissaka, he's also very, very good as well. But he's got to show more in the attacking third of the pitch. But there was some games last season where he did actually get forward quite well. But defensively, Bissaka's always been superb. And Wan-Bissaka has endured 2 full seasons at Man United. We got him in a deal worth 50 million from Palace in the summer of 2019. Bissaka is one of the best right-backs we've had since Gary Neville. Dean Henderson, he's also really improved as well. Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. We put him as number 1 last season, didn't we? And Solskjaer has chosen Dean Henderson to be our number 1 goalkeeper for next season, which is the right decision. Because he's a good goalkeeper now, and plus Henderson's got that experience behind him. He endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield, and he's also had other loan spells before. And before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the football club. And Amad Diallo Traore, he looks a very, very good asset for the first team squad as well. So, there you go. Solskjaer, he's endured 2 full seasons at Manchester United now, so obviously next season will be his 3rd full season. Solskjaer's been in charge of Manchester United now for 30 months, which is over 2 years. Now, I think Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson, no doubt about it, but obviously there has been Man United fans demanding Ole out, especially with that loss against Villarreal in the Europa League final, but I presume there's United fans that are Ole in and they believe that he needs more time at the club. He does deserve next season. Ole has just under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. I think it is a mistake though giving him this new 3-year contract, because I can assure that he won't see out this new 3-year contract. But Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy at Man United. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, which is 4 years ago, and that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Like I've said to you before, I do have my concerns about Ole. My 2 biggest concerns about him, like I've mentioned before, is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, and his decision-making concerns me because in a lot of his games at Man United, he's been tactically naive. Obviously, reflecting now on Solskjaer's been at the football club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learnt quite a bit on the job. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He endured 2 spells at Molde, by the way, and before Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. He only endured a short tenure with them. But the reason Solskjaer is still Man United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he wouldn't have been with us now. But you know what? I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done. So in that aspect, I am shocked. You've got to turn around and say, look, Solskjaer's done a good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Because when Solskjaer came in, he knew he had a lot to do. And, you know, Solskjaer has made good signings as Man United manager. You know, he's spent almost 300 million so far. You know, he's got rid of a lot of the deadwood as well since he's come in, and he knew he had to do that. You know, in Solskjaer's first full season, got us to 3 semi-finals, got us a third place finish. In his second full season, got us to the Europa League final, the EFL Cup semi-final, the FA Cup quarter-final, got us second place last season. And last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League, which obviously is a record. We appointed Ole in December 2018 to replace Jose Mourinho. He's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We gave him the job permanently back in March 2019, reflecting how well he did as the interim manager, because he won like 14 games out of 19 in all competitions. And more or less everybody's been given their chances at Man United. And Solskjaer said when he got appointed in that everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players. So yeah, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson, as you all know. We've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson retired. That was David Moyes, we sacked Louis van Gaal, and we also sacked Jose Mourinho. And we're not even really known as a sacking football club. You know, we've overpaid for players in recent years. In that aspect, the blame stems from the board, and our recruitment in general has been very, very poor. But I'm expecting us to do good business in this summer transfer window. We've already won 4 trophies since Ferguson retired as well, so that justifies how inconsistent we have been. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, that's 8 years ago now. But like I said, we haven't been the same team since Ferguson retired, and a lot of United fans predicted it was going to go wrong when Ferguson retired. No one will replicate what Ferguson did in that, because Ferguson enjoyed a 26-27 year tenure at Man United, won 30 odd trophies including 13 Premier League titles. So reflecting on that, Ferguson brought success to the club, but he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United. So it just proves that some managers do deserve time. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.